Hersheypark Aquatheatre. We hope you enjoy our show. For the safety of the trainers and animals, please stay off the concrete area around the pool. If you need to leave, please walk up, around, and down the stairs to exit on either side of the bleachers. Now, please put your hands together for the trainers of Ocean Connections.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing today? All right, that was okay, but ladies and gentlemen, we have a really exciting show planned for you all, and our animals do know what the sound of your applause means. So let's try that one more time. How y'all doing today? There we go. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Well, welcome here to the Hersheypark Aquatheatre, the sweetest place on earth. We are currently the home to 5 harbor seals and 2 California sea lions. We are dedicated to the field of marine mammal science and education. This means with the help of our very special flipper friends, we focus on animal care and educating about marine mammals, our environment, and conservation. And it does look like our first star is ready to join us today. Ladies and gentlemen, he actually is going to be celebrating his birthday next week. He is turning 29 years old, weighing around 250 pounds. Keep that applause coming for Scooter! Very nicely done, Scooter. Excellent job. Well, at this point, you might be wondering how we train our animals, and we use a technique called bridge and target training. The bridge is the clicker. It's located on the trainer's left wrist. If you listen carefully today, you may be able to hear that clicking sound. That click tells Scooter right in that exact moment he did a great job and a reward is coming soon. And to target just simply means to touch. One of the first steps of our training process is teaching an animal how to target or touch the tip of their nose to a target pole or a trainer's closed fist. And then using those tools, we're able to shape and guide the animal's behavior, reinforce them each step of the way, and then we remove that target in small steps and communicate with signals with our hands and our voices. Scooter's doing a great job out there. Let's give a big round of applause. Very nicely done. Now we also use positive reinforcement with our animals. This means when they do something correct, they're going to get a great big reward. We utilize primary reinforcer, which is fish. That's all the fish that they eat throughout the day, as well as secondary reinforcers, which is just anything else an animal enjoys, like a rub down from a trusted trainer. A lot of our animals like ice cubes and toys, and of course the sound of your applause. So let's give Scooter a big reward out there. He's doing awesome. Very nicely done. So at 28 years old, almost 29, that is quite old for a harbor seal. In their natural environment, seals and sea lions typically live to be about 10 to 15 years old. But Scooter here, he is 28. We can double and even triple their lifespan in human care in zoos and aquariums. As Scooter has gotten older, he has begun to develop cataracts in his eyes, which is quite common for seals and sea lions as they age. Now these cataracts don't cause Scooter any discomfort. We just simply modify how we work with him because they do affect his vision. So you're going to notice his trainer uses more tactile or touch cues with Scooter versus him relying on our visual or verbal cues. He has very sensitive whiskers as well, which we can help use to guide him around. He's doing an awesome job. Put those hands together, Mr. Scooter. Now, one of the ways we're able to extend the animal's lifespans is through something called husbandry care. Now, husbandry care is just any of the medical behaviors that we train with our animals. Part of our daily routine is to check on these animals from the tips of their toes, or the tips of their nose, to the tips of their tail, and make sure they're staying nice and healthy. So we can train on a variety of different behaviors, like laying out and showing us their belly, presenting their flippers, presenting their back and their belly, opening up their mouths. We can do x-rays, ultrasounds. Scooter's going to demonstrate one for us. We can train them to open up their mouths nice and wide and brush their teeth on a regular basis. As you can see, Scooter is very comfortable with having his teeth brushed. Let's let him know he did an awesome job with that. is positive reinforcement. As you can see, we never force Scooter to do anything. It's all based on that trust and relationship. Looks like he wants a little more applause out there. Let's put those hands together for him. Very well done, buddy. Now, as we're getting into summertime, this is an exciting time for these animals because every spring and summer, they begin to lose their hair and they'll grow in new, beautiful hair. So they are covered in fur. It's about a ½ inch in length and lays flat against their body when it's wet. And then as they lay out in the sun, it gets really fuzzy as it dries out. Every seal has their own unique fur pattern. Scooter is darker in color with lighter spots, but they can come in ranges of colors from light blonde, tan, all the way to dark brown and even black. Scooter did a great job today. Can we send him off with a big goodbye? Excellent job, big guy. Now our next star you're going to get to meet, she is very special to us because she was born right here at the Hersheypark Aquatheatre. She, of course, since she was born here, and she's the only marine mammal to ever be born here, we had to give her a very Hersheypark fitting name. She is our 6-year-old female Atlantic harbor seal. Can you please help me on welcoming Coco? Very well done, Miss Coco. That's a great big hello from her. Now, part of our jobs as marine mammal trainers is to add lots of variety into our animals' day. We can do this by changing up what toys we give to an animal to play with. We can change up which animals are in which shows or programs or what kind of training sessions we do throughout the day, but we can also play games with them. So this game we're playing here is called 3 Fish and involves placing 3 fish out in front of Coco, and she has to wait for the signal to pick them up, which is 1 clap of the trainer's hand. As you can imagine, this takes a lot of patience. For this last fish, we're going to make it a little more challenging. On the count of 3, we're going to clap our hands 1 time to see who Coco's listening to. 1, 2, 3. Very well done, Coco. Put those hands together for her. She did a great job with that. Excellent job. Well, play behavior is so important for a young animal. That's where they're going to build their skills and reflexes they need for later on in life. But play is also important for animals of all ages, and training is such a wonderful form of play. It helps give these animals the mental and physical exercise they need in order to stay healthy. So what we're going to do now is turn on my microphone, turn up some fun music, and allow you to enjoy these two working together. Now Coco does know what the sound of your applause means, so when you see something you like, make sure you put those hands together for her.
I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Where have you been, Cotton Eye Joe? I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
on YouTube. Now, it's so important to keep in mind that all the interactions you're seeing here today, they're only made possible through professional trainers working each and every day to establish a special and trusting relationship with these animals. Part of our daily routine is working with these animals and building that special relationship, but it is actual law. You must remain 100 yards away from a marine mammal. You never train, feed, or touch these animals in the wild. That's only for your safety, but it really is for the safety and protection of these animals. What do you say for Coco? She did such a fantastic job today. Very nicely done. Now, as Coco finishes up her portion of the presentation, I'd love to tell you all about a couple opportunities we're offering right after our show today. If you are interested in getting a little more up close and personal with one of our stars, you can sign up to feed one of our animals or get a post photo with an animal. If you're interested in either or both those programs, all you're going to do is just remain seated after our show today, and then we'll let you know how to sign up for those programs. One of us will hop back on the microphone and then explain the process of how to sign up for those. I do want to thank you in advance for your interest in those, because all the proceeds from these programs go right back towards caring for our animals and our conservation efforts. So thank you all so much. Now, our next star you're going to get to meet today, you're going to notice he does look quite a little bit different than our first two stars, and that is because he is a California sea lion, and our first two animals were harbor seals. He is our largest animal here. He weighs in well over 450 pounds. He is 21 years old. Put those hands together for Diego. Very nicely done, big guy. Excellent job. Now, sea lions like Diego, they live in large groups called rookeries. And these rookeries, they can be very noisy places. Females will vocalize in order to find their pups on crowded beaches, and males will vocalize in order to announce and defend their territory. Every sea lion has their own unique voice. I was wondering if Diego would like to show us off today. Very well done, Diego. Excellent job. Very well done. Now that you've met both some seals and a sea lion, with the help of Diego today, we're going to highlight 3 easy ways to tell them apart. Now, the first difference you can look at is their front flippers. Sea lions like Diego, they have large and powerful front flippers. They're about the size of a human arm. When he's swimming through the water, he's going to use those front flippers to propel himself. He can reach a burst speed of 20 to even 25 miles per hour. While a seal, they're going to have smaller front flippers. They're about the size of a human hand. Those front flippers help them steer through the water, while their hind flippers give them all the power that they need to swim. They're going to push those hind flippers together, move them side to side in a motion called sculling. A seal can swim at a burst speed of 15 to 20 miles per hour. You guys got the right idea. He's doing a nice job out there. The second difference between a seal and a sea lion, it is their ears. So sea lions have external ear flaps called external pinnae. If you look closely on the side of Diego's head, you'll be able to see those. Well, a seal has internal ears. So all you're going to see is a small hole or bump about 1 inch behind their eyes. The final difference between a seal and a sea lion is how they move right up here on land. So a sea lion has an adaptation called a rotating hip bone. This lets him rotate his hind flippers underneath his body and walk or run on land using all 4 flippers. While a seal is always going to move on their belly. They're going to inch or scooch across the land, just like Diego's demonstrating. Kind of looking like a great big caterpillar. Put those hands together for me. You did a great job demonstrating that. Very nicely done. Well, accredited zoos and aquariums like Ocean Connections and Zoo America, they play a very important role inspiring conservation leadership as human-caused obstacles like pollution, climate change, and habitat loss continue to affect all ecosystems. Accredited facilities have become safe havens for threatened and endangered species. Now, if you'd like to learn more about our conservation efforts or stay up to date on our animals as they're learning and growing, I encourage you to check out our website, oceanconnections.org, or follow us on any social media platform. As you're exiting today, if you have any questions, we're all going to be located around the pool, so don't be shy coming on, talk talk to us. We'd love to answer those for you. Again, if you are interested in our programs after our show, just remain seated in the bleachers. We'll hop back on the microphone and let you know how to sign up for those. I do want to thank every single one of you for joining us today, because it is only with your continued support that we are able to save these animals and ensure their survival for future generations. Thank you all so much for joining us, and please enjoy the rest of your day here in Hersheypark. Goodbye, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you walk down the stairs and exit on either side of the pool. Thank you for coming to our show, and enjoy the rest of your day here at Hersheypark.